I'm Riley, 29 years old, and I never thought my husband's 2-week business trip would leave me spiraling into what I can only describe as a personal Chernobyl. Caleb kissed me goodbye that morning, his suitcase clicking behind him like a countdown to something I didn't yet understand. I'll call every night, he promised, but we both knew his idea of every night meant whenever he wasn't neck-deep in tech conferences or rooftop networking events in San Francisco. The house felt like it was swallowing me whole without him. It wasn't just the silence, it was the way the walls seemed to close in after sunset, mocking my attempts to distract myself with work. Harper, my best friend and occasional voice of reason, had ghosted me for her book deadline. So there I was, drowning in empty rooms and unanswered texts, when Elliot showed up unannounced one afternoon. He leaned against the doorway, all messy hair and smug charm, holding a bag of pastries like some twisted white knight. "Just checking on my favorite sister-in-law," he said, though the way his eyes lingered made my skin crawl, or maybe tingle. I couldn't tell which scared me more. "Caleb's not here," I muttered, crossing my arms like a shield. But Elliot didn't budge. Instead, he walked right in, dropping the bag on the counter with a smirk. "Yeah, I figured. Thought you might need company." His words were casual, but the undertone? Anything but. By the time he left, I was fuming and confused. Why did he really come? And why did I catch myself glancing at the clock, wondering if he'd text later? This was bad. Really bad. But then came the kicker. As I cleared the coffee table, I found a napkin from the bakery with a note scrawled on it. Asterisk. "You look prettier when you're mad. See you soon, sis." Asterisk. Oh God. What fresh hell was this? One night that changed everything. I told myself it wouldn't happen again. After that first visit, I resolved to keep my distance. No more lingering conversations, no more late-night texts where he'd casually ask if I was lonely. But life has a way of slipping through your fingers when you least expect it. Elliot kept showing up, always with some excuse. Coffee runs, borrowed tools, even a playlist he swore would help me focus. Each time, I let him stay just a little longer than I should have. Harper noticed, of course, she's sharp like that. "What's going on with you two?" she asked one evening over Zoom, her eyebrow arched suspiciously. I brushed her off, saying Elliot was just being. Well, Elliot. Harmless, right? Wrong. The night everything changed started innocently enough, or so I tried to convince myself later. It was raining hard and Caleb had texted earlier to say his flight home was delayed another week. I sat alone in the living room, nursing a glass of wine while staring at the storm outside. Then there was a knock at the door. Of course it was Elliot, drenched and grinning like this was all part of some grand plan. "You left your scarf at my place," he lied smoothly, shaking water from his hair. He didn't even try to hide the smirk as he stepped inside. Before I knew it, we were sitting too close, talking about things we shouldn't. Caleb's workaholism, my loneliness, how easy it felt to talk to him. The wine loosened my tongue, and before long, words turned into something else entirely. When reality crashed back in, I bolted upright, heart pounding like a drumline. "Oh God," I whispered, clutching the blanket around me. Elliot looked almost apologetic, but not quite enough. "We can fix this," he murmured, reaching for my hand. "Fix it? How do you unbreak trust? How do you erase the guilt clawing at your chest?" And then came the kicker. My phone buzzed on the nightstand, a text from Caleb. Asterisk, "Miss you. Can't wait to come home." Asterisk. The threads begin to unravel. Caleb walked through the door 3 days later, looking tired but happy to be home. His arms wrapped around me like nothing had changed, but every touch burned, not out of love but shame. I plastered on a smile, pretending everything was fine, but inside I was unraveling thread by thread. Elliot didn't disappear after Caleb returned. If anything, he became bolder. Texts arrived daily, cryptic and loaded. Asterisk, "Remember our secret?" Asterisk or asterisk, "You owe me." Asterisk, the audacity made my stomach churn, but what could I do? Confront him? Admit what happened? Every option felt like stepping off a cliff. Then came the missed period and the panic attack that followed. I stared at the pregnancy test like it was a ticking bomb. Who was the father? Caleb, who worked tirelessly to provide for us? Or Elliot, whose presence haunted my every waking moment? The thought of either possibility left me paralyzed. Harper called halfway through my meltdown. "Riley, you sound off," she said bluntly. "Are you okay?" No, I wasn't okay. But telling her meant admitting the truth to myself, and I wasn't ready for that yet. Things got worse when Elliot showed up unexpectedly during one of Caleb's rare nights off. He acted casual, chatting about photography projects, but his eyes locked onto mine like magnets. When Caleb excused himself to grab drinks, Elliot leaned in close. "We need to talk," he whispered, his voice low and threatening. "About the baby." My blood ran cold. "How did you?" "I noticed things," he interrupted, smirking. "Don't worry, sis. Your secret's safe with me for now." As they laughed together in the kitchen, oblivious to the storm brewing between us, I realized something horrifying. This wasn't over. Not even close. Lies and manipulation. Elliot played me like a fiddle, pulling strings I didn't know existed. Every text, every meeting felt like a tightening noose. "Meet me tomorrow," he demanded one evening. Or maybe Caleb deserves to hear the truth? Desperation drove me to agree. We met at a cafe downtown, secluded enough that no one would recognize us. He slid into the booth across from me, his expression unreadable. "So," he began, stirring his coffee lazily, "what are we going to do about this?" "There's no we," I snapped, though my voice trembled. "This is your fault." He chuckled darkly. "Funny, last I checked it takes two. Look, Riley, here's the deal. You play along, keep quiet, and I'll make sure Caleb never finds out. Cross me, though." He trailed off, letting the implication hang heavy in the air. The manipulation gnawed at me day and night. At home, Caleb remained blissfully unaware, humming tunes as he cooked dinner or scrolling through emails on the couch. Meanwhile, I was drowning, torn between protecting my marriage and confronting the chaos I'd created. Harper cornered me one afternoon, her patience finally snapping. "You're lying to me," she accused, crossing her arms. "And worse, you're lying to yourself. Whatever's eating you alive, spit it out before it consumes you." But I couldn't. Not yet. So instead, I muttered something vague about stress and changed the subject. She didn't buy it, but she backed off for now. That night, as I lay awake staring at the ceiling, I realized the truth. Elliot wasn't just blackmailing me. He was enjoying it. And unless I found a way to break free, I'd lose everything, including myself. Secrets in the shadows. Margot showed up unannounced one Sunday afternoon, bearing a casserole and an unsettling intensity. "Thought I'd check on my boys and their lovely wives," she chirped, setting the dish on the counter. Her gaze lingered on me a beat too long, and I fought the urge to squirm. She stayed for hours, peppering me with questions under the guise of polite conversation. "How's married life treating you, dear?" she asked sweetly, sipping her tea. "Caleb mentioned you've seemed distant lately." Distant? Was Caleb talking about me behind my back? I forced a laugh, brushing her comment aside. "Oh, just busy with work." But Margot wasn't fooled. Her sharp eyes missed nothing, and I wondered how much she already suspected. Meanwhile, Elliot doubled down on his threats. "Mom's getting curious," he warned in a voicemail. Better hope she doesn't dig too deep. Paranoia consumed me. Every glance from Caleb, every knowing look from Margot, felt like judgment. Even Harper stopped calling, sensing I was hiding something big. I was trapped in a web of lies, each strand pulling tighter until breathing felt impossible. The breaking point came when I stumbled upon old messages on Elliot's phone. He'd forgotten to log out during one of his visits. The screenshots revealed a pattern. Women manipulated, used, discarded. I nearly vomited reading them. "Oh God," I whispered, sinking to the floor. "What have I done?" It hit me then. If I didn't act soon, I'd become just another name on his list. But breaking free wouldn't be easy. Not with Margot watching, Caleb trusting, and a baby growing inside me.